Hello friends, my name is Slava Baranovsky and I'm a Harp teacher, instructor and coach from Ukraine. Today I want to talk about an angle on a Harp that I don't often see or hear about talked about online. A lot of attention is given to the musical, rhythmical side of the Harp as a musical instrument, but this instrument is only musical at the surface level. These vibrations are the loudest, they are the more pronounced, but a more subtle, a deeper level of the Johar practice is rarely talked about. It's unexplored, unknown. A lot of people are just simply unaware of its existence. But to me personally, that the deeper part of the Johar practice is the most valuable one. Don't get me wrong, I really like the musical part. It's fun, it's expressive, it's musical. It would get you the attention, it would get you the emotional part of you pumped up, and it's fun. But the biggest value of the Johar is the ability to enact change in a person, and a positive one. Now, let me explain my perspective on the Johar as a key to change, to positive change. Let me explain from my own personal story, my personal experience. A short history of me with the Johar. I got my first Johar 6-7 years ago. Don't really remember the correct date, but it was a souvenir shop in Lviv, Ukraine, and the vendor there, the girl who sold me the Johar, she showed me how to hold it, how to pluck it, how to produce sound, and it immediately clicked with me. It was intuitive, it was fun, it was a unique sound for me at the moment, and I got really curious and I got into it and I started to play with it, experiment with it, started researching online for tips, for tricks, how do I do new sounds, and it was a journey of finding ways to produce new fun sounds with it. At first, my growth, my experience was fast. I was learning a lot of new things fast. But then, as I learned more and more, I started to understand that I don't know about the Johar more and more. So it's the paradox. The more you know that you don't know. Yes, and at some point I felt that I was hitting a wall. No matter how hard I was going at it, I couldn't get that what I was looking for, the level of mastery that would give me the artistical freedom to create something really that sounded like things that other more experienced Johar players were doing. I couldn't understand what are the buttons, how to push them, how to find them. I was just in my own head, in my own experiencing, going through motions, through circles, and I felt stuck. And that was the point for me that I understood it would took about 3, 4, 5 months of self-discovery, self-practice, I was doing it by myself with no external help and with online content on YouTube. And so I found myself at a crossroad, either to be content with the level of mastery that I have achieved, or I could start learning. I could search for a teacher and to learn from a teacher. And I decided to make a leap of faith. And I found a teacher, the best one I could afford. And he was teaching me things that he discovered himself and things that he was taught by his teachers. And they were taught by their teachers. And they were taught by their so there's a certain continuity of knowledge of the Johar wisdom that is going from one teacher to another, to his student, and then to his student. And I began learning, and immediately my growth skyrocketed again. But I was faced with a wall yet again because the standards were high and I was not capable of the physical my body said I'm not ready. I was clumsy. I was not in touch with my breath. I had no idea about my throat, anything other than that I eat to it, I speak with it. And my tongue was, don't get me started, and the lips, everything was new and challenging. So I could make it. And the moment that I realized it, that I needed a harder commitment, because if you're standing at one side of a running river, the river is wide and the water is fast, and you need to get to the other side. Yes, so one side of the river where you stand is you now. The other side is you where you want to go. And the river is change. And to get to the point where you need to go, you don't want to go on the straight line because the water will move you and you will miss your mark. You need to aim higher, so that while you travel, the water will push you and you will end up at the point where you want to go actually. So I understood that I need to aim higher than I was aiming previously. And I committed even harder to learn to become a Johar teacher and Johar instructor. It required more time, more money, more effort, more everything from me. But that was the only way that I felt that I could commit and really go deep, to have at it, I felt that I had an opportunity to become a better version of myself. I felt that I was lacking physically, artistically, in many ways. I was shy, socially awkward, anxious. There was much of me that I wanted to change, and I felt that the jaw harp can help me with that. So I needed maybe a motivation, an excuse, or certain vibrations that resonate with me to begin practicing. And practicing the jaw harp, it was tough, it was not easy, but I committed to it, and I started developing my body, my breathing, my voice, everything about me started to change. It's not that, as let's take a tree as a metaphor. It's not that I, as a tree, simply started growing new branches, but the most liberating thing was noticing how Joharp helped me to get rid of old dead branches, the old bark, the, so to say, the old turtle shell that I was sitting inside that was no longer protecting me as a child, because I was no longer a child needing protection. I was a grown man. But the shell remained, and it was not protecting me. It was confining me, constraining me. And the Joharp helped me realize that I was in a shell, that I had old branches, dead ones that I needed to get rid of, and all of that started coming off me. It's hard to explain using words the experiences of that caliber, but as I said, the jaw harp allows you to introspect. That is the most valuable ability of the jaw harp. It allows you to introspect. You follow the vibrations inward. You follow the sound inward. You point your attention from the world outside, so to say. Metaphorically, you shift your attention inside. You take your jaw harp, you close your eyes, you hit the reed, and you follow the vibrations. Not only you start noticing how the vibrations go through your jaw, through the neck, through your columna vertebralis, through your spine, through your body, how your cavities, they reverberate, they resonate, create the sounds. But you notice other subtleties that when you follow the vibrations with your attention, you no longer associate your reality with the thought machine, the thoughts that always generate in your head. You become the body through sensations, and you get in touch with your creative inner core. When you start producing sounds, when you start hitting the jaw harp, certain areas, certain levels of your self start to engage with it. You start noticing and feeling urges. Maybe you want to speed up, maybe you want to hit harder, maybe some rhythm or melody is coming out of you. This eternal flow of artistry, from creativity, you begin to be aware of its existence, and you learn to tap into it, to follow the river, so to say. Yes, let the river let the river guide you. No, let the river. Don't struggle with it. Go with it. So letting go, allowing things to be, is one of the biggest philosophical, emotional, psychological discoveries that I made for myself. So letting go of control, you need certain control on a technical level. You need to be able to perform things with the instrument, so that you can express yourself freely on an artistical level, on a creativity level. And the more capable I became with the jaw harp on a technical level, the more the creativity channel opened up wider and wider, so to say. So I teach technical stuff not to limit and restrict my students, but to allow them to see the possibilities that those technical knowledge and skills allow them. So you, in order to swim safely through the river, you need to shape, you need structure. Yes, so look at it from an angle that you are either building a raft or carving a boat for yourself. Yes, a boat or a raft needs to be a certain way to function, to carry you. Otherwise, it will fall apart, or the water will get into it and it will sink with you, and you will not get far from the shores. To travel deep, to go deep, you need tools, and these are the tools: the technical know-how, and the ability is rope that you give yourself to go deep, as deep as your rope will allow you. I hope I don't confuse you too much with my metaphors, and that's only because I don't know how otherwise to explain the concepts that I try to convey to you. And if you the one thing take away, if you have one thing to take from this, take this: learning to play the jaw harp on a technical level is the fastest and the most effective and proven ways of liberating yourself artistically, creatively. As an artist, as a painter, you have all of these colors. But if you don't know in what proportion to mix the basic ones, how much do you want to take red, how much blue, to get that tint of purple that you have in mind? How to ground the canvas. Yes, technical stuff liberates you artistically. So learn to play the jaw harp on a technical level, and you tell me if that helped you to enjoy the jaw harp more, or if you enjoy the jaw harp less. In any case, This is a catalyst for change. This is my personal experience, lived experience, something that I want to share with you to maybe motivate you to make another look on your jaw harp and reconsider learning to play the jaw harp. I want to see the jaw harp community grow and thrive, because I believe the jaw harp helps make people and communities healthier and society healthier. Art, creativity helps us become healthier as a species. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I remain Slava, your jaw harp teacher, instructor, and coach. Search deep, search within, and don't forget your jaw harp.